Hello and welcome. Second time me casting. My name is King Trip D, and I'm going to give this a go. It's solo cast. Fortunately, my friend or my duo caster isn't available right now, so I'm just doing this right now to have a little feel. The current game that I'm casting is a ranked solo queue match, but my friend, and his name is GodKnight01, he's dual queuing with another friend of mine named Ninja, and so I decided to spectate their game. What we'd be talking about, it would be more or less, let's see what they got. Blue and purple team. In the blue team, we can see there's Valkoz. He's a new champion to the league. Very interesting champion, I would say. He's one of those like sort of Lux, Xerath type champions who lack mobility but do a lot of burst damage, even though he's also more damage over time. So he's a mix of both burst and damage over time. As with his ultimate, it is a laser, which is pretty damn freaking cool. And it's channeled laser, so he'll be stuck in one position and is channeling over time for about 2.5 seconds. And it does quite a lot of damage, I believe 900 flat damage by level 16. And it has, I'd say, 0.55 or 0.6 scaling for AP, so building AP on him will do a lot of damage. As you can see, still on the blue team, they are running Renekton top lane, Warwick in the jungle, Sona and Quinn in the bot lane. Whereas on the purple team, you have the Ziggs in mid lane, Nidalee in top, Vayne and Blitzcrank in bot lane, and the Kha'Zix in the jungle. In terms of, well, let's see what the lineup offers. Renekton and Warwick more of a frontliners, so you'd see them maybe more or less diving onto Ziggs or the Vayne, with the suppression from Warwick and Renekton following up. You'll then have a crescendo coming from Sona, and in the meantime you have Valkoz at the back doing his damage and Quinn sort of doing her damage. But if she pops her ultimate in the middle of the fight, she'll be in the middle of the fight. That's a good thing. So you got, like, they'll be jumping in, so you'd force Ziggs, maybe even Nidalee, to like stay back and deal with protecting Vayne, who will do a lot of damage, and Blitzcrank as well, so it'd be more of a, they might have to peel for the Vayne. One thing I don't like about the comp is, since they're so dive into the backline orientated with Warwick, it leaves Valkoz vulnerable, who is, again, he's an immobile champion. He usually has to sit at the back, and so, yeah, game started, so we'll be going in 10 seconds anyway. And since he's sort of at the back, more or less, on his own, you would have Kha'Zix would have easy jump potential, and he would be able to isolate Valkoz on his own. Only one who'll be close to him will be Sona, probably, because she's always ranged. But more or less it'll be Valkoz and Kha'Zix. You'd expect that to happen. Hopefully my friend is aware of that. But on the other side, I just want to hide this. Alright, sweet. On the other side, so it was a Nidalee, Vayne, Ziggs, very poke-orientated comp, I have to say. It is got great siege potential with the Nidalee and Ziggs. Ziggs can clear waves, he can throw his Q consistently, so can Nidalee. Her spears do a lot of damage if she's building a ability power, which we'll find out very soon. You'll also have the initiation from Blitz to pull in one target, and I think maybe Blitz and Kha'Zix could do that well in terms of catch out. So if they're on their own, pull out someone, get the isolation with Kha'Zix's passive Q, and do quite serious damage, like assassinate one person. So it's a really all over the place combo. Whereas you can tell blue team's more or less orientated in team fights. That's where they shine more. They can do catch out quite effectively with just Warwick alone, and I'd be looking forward to a gank in mid lane once Warwick hits 6, once Valkoz is also 6. Just the whole suppression lockdown will give Valkoz enough time to get his ultimate off, get his W off, which is, I forgot the name of it though, but regardless, it does a lot of damage, and does also damage over time. Plus his passive, which every 3 spell casts, or every 3 dots, like Vayne's Silver Bolts, it will apply true damage, just like Vayne's Silver Bolts, which is quite amazing. But not based on percentage health, it's based on a flat damage, flat specific number. And his ultimate every 0.5 seconds will apply one of those stacks, so within a full channeled ultimate, it's applying roughly 5 stacks, And so all I have to do is cast another spell, apply 6 stacks, as double true damage in one go. So that makes probably the Warwick and Vel'Koz coordinating ganks like that. In terms of Nidalee, she is running attack damage. Okay, so what that means is clearly on red team, or red team in this instance, they are lacking a frontliner apart from Blitzcrank. And with Nidalee running sort of attack damage, you expect to probably go like Sunfire Cape, just fixing this up for you. Sunfire's Cape and maybe Iceborne Gauntlet, more or less a frontliner as always, so which is pretty interesting to do. I probably don't want to really bother about chat. It's quite a frontliner. It's an interesting setup. It's usually played more or less in top lane, where you can abuse it more or less, because it's the tank meta in top lane. A lot of bruiser type champions go up there. For instance, Renekton. Nidalee can fit that quite well. In Cougar form, she does quite a lot of damage. Doesn't use mana. It does a lot of physical damage as well. So it works. It does have some elements to it, but it needs required good skill. See Blitzcrank trying to get in evade, while we'll walk in, face checking a Warwick and a Quinn. Does he have pull? He does have pull. Grabs the Warwick. Great pull there. Unfortunately, the return damage from Quinn kind of scares him away. Good idea to invade from Blitzcrank. You do want to invade Blitzcrank. You saw that pull. If it had a follow-up CC, it would have been absolutely amazing. It did get Warwick to half health, but Warwick should be fine. He will sustain jungle quite well with just his passive alone, which increases, I think, its lifesteal gain from per auto attack, which amplifies up consistently. And he'll get a good leash from Sona and Quinn, so he won't be behind. Kha'Zix on the other hand doesn't really have the better sustain out of Warwick, so he's more or less lack of sustain, but he clears just as fast, and he pretty much will get to like roughly level 3, level 4, try to go for a gank, and snowball from ganking. Whereas expect Warwick to stay in jungle till hit level 6, so you can get that suppression and gank with his ultimate. So I'd expect Kha'Zix to be more or less an early ganker. In terms of farming, I'd say Nidalee would be more or less trying to zone out Renekton, but don't expect too much aggression until level 2, level 3, where Renekton will have his slice and dice and his Call of the Meek. Same thing in mid lane, they'll probably more or less will poke out each other, try to zone out each other with their long range. They're both quite long range champions, but also looking for a bit of farm. And in bot lane is, well, I think more or less where the impact will happen, a lot of the fighting will happen. With Blitzcrank pool would try to get as much pulls on, cause a lot of fights. He's running some mana potions and the ancient coin, so therefore he will be using his mana a lot, try to get an early kill. Whereas Sona and Quinn will have more or less a zoning poke playstyle again, try to poke Vayne down with the Ranger Ras. Just see in top lane though, Renekton again, level 2, level 3 hit, he's sliced and diced in, Ruthless Predator, and just did a little trade back, but it is tank Nidalee, so she won't, if she's maxing her heal, or maybe get it to level 3 and then max Q afterwards, she'll just be able to sustain the lane. Using the brush to her advantage though, but I don't know if it'll help, but she did manage to distract Renekton to get up, to continue pushing, and this allowed Kha'Zix to gank, throws a great spear to pull up the kill. So that's what I meant by expect Kha'Zix to gank. So good idea of using the brush. It brought Renekton to push up forward more. She has the movement speed from her passive in the brush, and this brought Kha'Zix to gank. He's noticed no wards, I'm gonna gank, get a kill. Burn Renekton's flash, so that's a long flash. See in bot lane, Blitzcrank landing the pull, Vayne turning around, trying to do as much damage as possible. Manages to condemn Sona into all, but Sona just casually walks away and heals. Quinn going in trying to trade back, but did burn her flash to try to escape as well from the exhaust of Blitzcrank, and the fighting is still going on. Vayne going a bit too deep, gets exhausted by Sona, has to burn flash, and tries to condemn Sona, but Sona's beautiful Hymn of Valor chord managed to pick up a kill. Unpredictable damage, I think, based on Sona herself. She's running not flat AP, quite a bit of AP on her. So I'd say AP Quince, as well as 21, at least some AP in her offensive tree. maybe 9-0-21 or 13-0-17. I've seen that a couple times. Again, it will help out in the poke, it will help out in the sustain. With the whole new supports having scaling on ability power, it will buffer up a bit. And Renekton doing this typical trade-off. Slice and dice in, Call of the Meek, and... yeah, Call of the Meek, and then just slice and dice back out. A little trade-off, but Nidalee, well, we shouldn't be phasing her too much. She's... exactly, maxing up the heal, so she'll just be able to sustain lane quite easily. Just push it to late game. She'll probably out-tank later on if she decides to go for some fires early. Whereas I'm not sure what this Renekton will consider building. We see he's already gotten the Null Magic Mantle to help against the spears and the magic traps as well, which do a lot of damage. We see Quinn getting a little dance from Renekton. Oh, that's a lot of fun. I tend to do that all the time. It's so brilliant. I just such a troll thing. And you see going in the mid lane, Vel'Koz is actually winning in the Farm Fest, but you see Kha'Zix coming around. Vel'Koz flashing in, trying to get love grade, gets life form disintegration rate that will pick up the kill on Ziggs, but you see, he was lucky mobile. This allowed Kha'Zix to jump in, but Kha'Zix backing off after getting ignited from Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz mana pool running really low. He still had his Q up and so was his W, but Kha'Zix didn't feel it. He thought, nah, this is not right for me, and backed off smartly. You see Warwick camping in the brush there. He does find Kha'Zix, pops. He gets his Relentless Pursuit. No, Bloodstone. I get Relentless Pursuit. Oh, my bad. I must be mixing up champion skills. Anyway, gets a blood sent off. We'll smell the Kha'Zix. Feels a bit of a bug this morning. That won't do much. Going into bot lane though, Sona taking quite low, probably from a pull from Blitzcrank. Unfortunately, missed that. You see Warwick running down. I don't think he's red team aware of this. So Warwick will be able to run in behind. Blitzcrank is on a ward, pulls in Sona, but gets driven quite low. Quinn jumping onto Blitzcrank, slowing him down for allowing Warwick to continue walking in. Picks up the kill. So despite being a weak ganker pre-6, as you saw, he just had to walk in, doesn't really provide much, so relies on his team for the CC. This is actually not pretty... this is actually quite bad for a team. Not going good. Warwick ganking early and actually getting stuff out of it. Not something you'd want from red team, because once he hits level 6, his ganks are going to be a nightmare. He's even right now decided to troll around in the jungle with Vel'Koz, trying to find the Kha'Zix, get the kill, deny him his snowball, which is a pretty good idea. I kind of agree with it though. Don't want Kha'Zix to snowball. He's kind of a massive threat. Vayne just trying to get a bit of farm, and you see Renekton trading off again with Nidalee, but she's able to out-sustain. She's maxing her heal. She's gotten the... I forgot the skill. She's gotten the... Glacial Shroud. How can I forget that? I've been playing this game for a while. I'm very sorry. Oops. She's gotten the Glacial Shroud, and it gives her a bit of tankiness. Once she gets that Frozen Heart, it will just reduce Renekton's damage quite considerably. She'll be able to out-sustain him. They'll still continue back and forth trade. I doubt Nidalee will be able to kill him anytime soon until she's able to chug him down quite low. So we'll see there. She does jump in, go into Cougar form, pounces in, doesn't really do much damage. And Renekton will be able to sustain as well with his Call of the Meek. So both have a quite sustainable lane. I reckon maybe jungle have to gank top to pick up some kills for now, because they just will back and forth, just sustain the game. Going to bot lane, Quinn is winning out in the CS lead just by 13, so it's not too far. In the mid lane as well, Vel'Koz is winning. He does have a kill advantage as well, so he's quite in the driver's seat right there. And he's picking up blue right now, so this will be a pretty good thing for Vel'Koz. Renekton going aggressive again on Nidalee with slice stuff, but isn't aware that he's got no minions, and there's a cannon minion right there. Yes, he's got Doran Shield. We'll try to help him out, but that does a lot of damage. He's just still going aggressive. He doesn't understand that Nidalee does have the potential to kill him if she just switches into Cougar form. But Warwick is aware, comes up, tries to help out. And we'll see Renekton backing off. In the meantime, Kha'Zix pings onto the Vel'Koz. He smells blood. He wants some metal in his veins. And in top lane, Warwick is going quite aggressive onto Nidalee. Infinite Duress is onto Nidalee, chugs are quite low, but I think the Glacial Shroud just saved her life. Has enough mana, has enough cooldown reduction to heal her. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix does gank mid lane, and that misses out, but Ziggs will throw out the bomb, pick up the kill. So, well played by Kha'Zix, whilst Warwick was top lane, was able to gank mid lane without too much hassle. There you go, so that's a gank onto mid lane, get Ziggs back in the game, hopefully he can farm it up, and Kha'Zix, so far 2 assists, not bad. He's been part of both kills in this game, one in top, one in mid. It'll be pretty interesting to see how he goes in his snowball. His next sights are in bot lane. Blitzcrank trying to get into position to get the pull off, but I think he did walk over a ward. Yeah, so there's a ward right here, walked over it. Bot lane knew what he was coming, backed off. And Warwick coming, setting sights on mid lane. Doesn't have his ultimate, but he's walking over a ward. Ziggs will just be able to satchel charge and bounce away if anything happens. In the meantime, Blitzcrank going up toward as well. Not sure, he passes the ward, so Sona and Quinn considering to play a bit of aggressive. It is just Vayne on her own. She understands that they might know this, so she's backing off a bit. And in top lane, it's just a little trade-off. He's interesting. Renekton decided to buy the pickaxe, I believe, going for an early Tiamat. Quite a great jump on from Valkaz, throws out his tectonic pressure, gets Warwick Ziggs quite low, and here comes Warwick with his Bloodsend, was able to get the movement speed enhancement and infinite duresses onto Ziggs, will pick up the kill for Valkaz. So that damage up was just Valkaz alone. Imagine Warwick ulting, initiating with an ultimate. Valkaz would be able to shred him apart. That's a really deadly combination. I probably not liked versing that myself in solo queue. Tectonic Disruption, Void Rift, and Plasma Fusion. Okay, Life Form Disintegration, right. Interesting. So that was a great play. Warwick, Renekton going a bit aggressive on Nidalee, but it's actually taking a lot of trade back. Nidalee just able to heal herself up and doing a lot of damage with her own auto attacks in human form. Goes back into Kuga, will pounce, swipe, Fury swipes, and just continue on fighting. Can she get the kill? No, Renekton popping off just in time to reduce the damage from her Q, which does increase damage based on missing health. But that's a Renekton's ultimate gone, and will back off. Nidalee doesn't really need to back off. She'll just heal, push lane. But it's actually losing in this CS battle, which is quite interesting. You think, despite Renekton backing off more, Nidalee will have the advantage. But she's probably sitting on a lot of gold. Not really. 500. Okay. She does have the gold lead, though. And that will be from the kill. In the mid lane, Valkaz has a 1k gold lead. That's from the 20 CS lead, as well as the extra kill. Warwick is actually even with the Kha'Zix, despite having a kill and Kha'Zix having an assist. Pretty even matchup. So they're still working together. On the bot lane though, Quinn is a 500 gold lead, and she does go aggressive onto the Vayne. Warwick ulting in with Infinite Dress will hopefully pick up the kill, but Vayne, nice flash and barrier, will be able to survive with such little health. Sona trying to pick up the little sneaky kill, but we'll take a couple tower shots and back off. So there you go. Warwick, he's kind of a scary ganker at level 6. Not sure what Kha'Zix is doing. He's just probably farming up when it should be the other way around. Kha'Zix should consider ganking more. You know, get the snowball off. So maybe counter ganking would be a good idea from Kha'Zix, whereas instead of just farming up, might be gank another lane. Like for instance Valkaz, who hasn't been warding except for one place, which is towards Dragon area, thinking Kha'Zix would be that way. Whilst bot lane did back off, Warwick and Quinn and Sona were able to take out the tower. Warwick's W, Hunter's Calling, I believe it's called, increases attack speed to allies around in his vicinity when activated. So they were able to shred tower quite easily. Renekton going a bit aggressive. Nidalee is running low on mana, so don't expect to do much in human form, but we'll go in Kuga form. Kha'Zix does come in, leaps in, trying to get a little kill, but Renekton flashes out to safety. This little communication gives blue team a free dragon, because Kha'Zix is up in top lane, won't be able to smite, there's no contested, that's a free dragon. So good play from blue team, extending the lead to 2k gold, having the objective lead by having bot tower gone, as well as dragon. They're also winning in the CS lead quite considerably in all lanes except for top. It's very even there. Even in jungle it's quite even. But no. So mid lane and bot lane farming is going straight to the blue team. Kha'Zix was stealing the blue, little cheeky devil, but gets seen by Renekton, had to flash out and leap away just to be safe and not give up any kills. Valkos, on the other hand, rushed the Sork boots. I kind of like it. Yep, you can probably go with Themes, but he probably needed the tier 2 boots for the more mobility because he's a quite slow champion. He doesn't move fast. He's got no blinks. He's just meh. But unfortunately, he did pressure too far. Not without a ward. Kha'Zix, seeing that, tried to go aggressive. But in the meantime, top lane, Renekton's going quite aggressive. Valkos taking a lot of damage, but will be able to walk away safely and back up. Meanwhile, Renekton still going aggressive onto Nidalee, using his pickaxe and longsword to his advantage, trying to get as much damage as possible. Nidalee just still sitting on the Glacial Shroud with the Ruby Crystal, Sapphire Crystal. Renekton a little bit cheeky, backing right in front of Nidalee, maybe trying to force her to jump in on him. So it's a little toy from Renekton. You can see he's got a cheeky personality. Down in bot lane though, Vayne, because she's zoned out so much from Quinn and Sona, she's forced to do the white camp. It's taken her quite a bit of damage. It took her a while as well. Whereas Quinn is just having a glorious day, farming to her heart's content in bot lane. Meanwhile, in mid lane, you see Valkos isn't aware of the Blitzcrank. He's actually starting to push up more. So this could go really bad for Valkos. Where is the Kha'Zix? Oh, the Kha'Zix coming as well. Warwick's filling blues up for him, so he's going to head up towards blue. But Kha'Zix isn't actually deciding mid lane. He's decided to go to top lane because he sees a Renekton, and Renekton is pushed up. Doesn't have flash stun, but does have ultimate and slice and dice. Great position by Kha'Zix, forced him in isolation to get the increased damage. But here comes the Warwick. Warwick smells blood. Blood scent is on. In the meantime, Ziggs manages to pick up the kill with Blitzcrank, and into bot lane, Queen's jumping onto Vayne. But let's go back to top lane. What is happening up in top lane? No! Warwick was able to jump onto the Nidalee, and Kha'Zix, using his isolation, managed to kill the Renekton. So much fights happening everywhere. So let's recap. Because so much fights happening and my screen started jumping everywhere. So first off starts off, you've got the Blitzcrank right here, waiting for the Valkos who's moving up. You got in top lane, Renekton playing aggressive on the Nidalee. Kha'Zix started running up, trying to get the jump on Renekton. He gets the jump, does a lot of amount of damage, and forces Warwick to head up top lane. Whilst Warwick's head up top lane, Blitzcrank ganks onto Valkos. Valkos pushes up, sees that Kha'Zix top lane, says I'm really worried, pushes up top. The reason why he wasn't worried, I think it's because his bot lane was pushing up on bot lane too. So he's like, oh, Blitzcrank is heading bot. Misread the position. Valkos trying to steal the blue buff. Might use his ultimate, which is... No, it's off cooldown, so he could have used ultimate to steal. Still trying to do it, but we'll walk into a Blitzcrank who will knock him up, doing a tremendous amount of damage. Just life from Disintegration Ray, but Kha'Zix picks up the kill in return. I don't know. I don't think that's an even trade. You're killing the support, but the jungler who has a very powerful snowball rate kills him in return. A fed Kha'Zix is not someone you want to mess with. He would be able to two-show you, especially come later on in the game when we spoke about earlier how Warwick and Renekton will try to dive in the backline, leaving Valkos exposed. And if Kha'Zix is fed, he will not. It will just make it easy for him to kill you. Heading up in top lane, Nidalee finds a Renekton and just a little trading back. Has the Frozen Fist though, so she does a bit more damage. But Renekton completed the tier map. He's still squishy though, so this trade-off should go in Nidalee's favour. And here comes a Kha'Zix, smells that he can get the kill as well again. Kha'Zix is doing what he's meant to do. He's ganking. That's much better. That's what I like to see Kha'Zix do. He's starting to gank now. He's level 11, so he has evolved Q with E. So he's going to do a lot of damage and have reset potential. So good play by Kha'Zix. Finally do what he's supposed to do, and that's gank and snowball. In mid lane, Valkos is pushing up again. Gets ganked from Vayne, but he throws out with a tectonic pressure, and he's slow to just trade back on doing a bit of damage. Meanwhile, Warwick is chasing down the Nidalee. It's actually quite interesting. A wolf chasing a cat. Dog v cat. Oh, the glory days. Who's a better animal? Nidalee, usually some champion. Not a lot of people enjoy chasing. Does take their time. Warwick with Bloodsend might be able to chase her quite easily. isn't feeling like he has the ward. Blitzcrank flashes in, trying to get the knockup, but Warwick flashes away just in case, so he doesn't get pulled. That's 2 flashes burnt. I don't know if I like who lost it more. But in the meantime, you can see in mid lane, blue team are shoving it. Ziggs could not clear the wave just in time. Quinn, with the Blade on King, can deal a bit of damage to the tower. She's got a bit of attack speed. So they managed to take the middle tower. And in the meantime, Warwick, he's smelling blood. He wants some kills. Him and Renekton. Great pull from Blitzcrank onto Renekton. We'll chug him low. Nidalee is there to do a bit of damage. It forces Renekton just slice and dice. Gets away easily. But Blitzcrank and Nidalee are not finished just yet. Nidalee going into human form, using her auto attacks to get the slow off. Renekton has to flash to get away, but trying to do a little jungle bait, and it worked incredibly well. Blue team was around the corner. That bait worked fantastically. Renekton, Warwick baited her in. Warwick didn't have ultimate, but around the corner had a Sona Crescendo. Who didn't even actually crescendo? But he had the Valkos Life Form Disintegration Ray. Does damage. Quinn also popped her ultimate into Vala, turned to Vala. Vala wanting to kill the cat. Taking revenge for all the birds that were killed by cats. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you see Ranga. No, it's Ranga. Where do I get Ranga from? Talking about cats. Kha'Zix trying to be a little bit aggressive onto the Valkos, but does back off. Warwick comes in, smells of bug blood, and Infinite Duress is on, but his team could not follow up. So Warwick was able to just... Kha'Zix was able to flash away, get away safely, but did burn his flash though. They're trying to siege down mid lane, but you've got versing a Ziggs. Ziggs will be able to clear wave. Blitzcrank pops the talisman, gets a great knock up onto Valkos. Valkos is dead. There you go, that's the lack of mobility. Kha'Zix, smelling blood, gets his Q off onto the Sona, will pick up a kill. That means his Reese is off cooldown, will reset. But I don't know if they're going to continue it. They'll probably continue to take on this tower. Blue team is backing off, so Quinn will be gone. If red team keep going, they can take the second tower. And even go for Dragon after this. Get back in the global lead. Because they're not only 2k gold, so if they take this tower and the Dragon, they'll be back. And we'll have probably a couple hundred gold lead. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you can see Nidalee is pushing up top. But Kha'Zix has found the Warwick. But Warwick manages to get away safely. Meanwhile, Blitzcrank is being chased by the Quinn and Renekton, but manages to get away safely. All this is happening. Nidalee finally takes top tower. So in terms of towers, blue team have the 2-tower lead. They have a dragon lead, but surprisingly, the gold's only 1k different. So in terms of the 1k, it is probably that the fact that Ziggs and Nidalee have more farm. It's quite interesting where that 1k gold lead is from, but not too certain. Unfortunately, we did miss out. Warwick managed to find a free cat. So there we go. The wolf killed the cat. Wasn't a dog. Wasn't a bird. Weren't crocodiles. It was a wolf. He felt hungry. Blood scent all the way. So now it's 9 to wait. 2k gold lead back. So that one... Oh, there you go. So you got the kill. Warwick smelling a bit of a dragon now. He wants to eat every animal in the game. Wants a bug, wants a cat. Now wants a dragon. But red team are aware of this, so they're chucking the wall. Blitzcrank trying to get the pull. Gets it on Quinn. Good one, forcing her to use her ultimate to get away. So that's Quinn's ultimate down. The bird had to pop up, but Valkos was around the corner and he's chasing. He smells blood. He wants a kill. Unfortunately, good slow from Kha'Zix, but he misses this. Leap. Valkos throwing out all the damage, but did not get any kills at all. Vayne was able to condemn Sona into the wall, gets a kill, while Kha'Zix jumps onto the Renekton, picks up the kill on that. So it's a 2-for-1 trade at the moment, but Kha'Zix is very low, Ziggs is very low. Nidalee is quite healthy, but she's up in top lane, so with Valkos and Quinn, and even Warwick himself, whose ultimate is up right now, they will be able to take this middle inner turret, unless Ziggs is able to stop anything. But Warwick jumping onto the Blitzcrank, Valkos doing the Void Rip, will be able to pick up the kill on him for Warwick. Quinn not getting the assist, oh well. But they should be able to get this tower right now. It's quite low, it will go down. So that's the 5th tower for blue team, and that is a 2k gold lead still, amazing. Meanwhile, Nidalee is shoving down the top tower, is hoping to get it in return. Should be quite low. Renekton is coming up to meet her in lane, and Quinn is coming up from behind. Nilly should be able to get the tower. Should be able to one-auto attack. Yep, she's got it. She's trying to run away now. Goes into Cougar form, pounces, flashes over the wall. Quinn uses her sight, but clearly ran the other way. Nilly would be able to get away. Using the brush, gets a movement, enhances speed, has cooldown reduction, so she can leap to Joy. So she's not going AD. She doesn't have much spear damage. Valkaz and Renekton are still chasing though, but they're going to run into the rest of Red Team who came into safety. That Valkaz has no mobility. Doesn't even have flash. So Blitzcrank going on flashes, knocks up, misses his hook though. Nilly trying to get the kill, and she does get up the kill in a human form. So her attacks picking up the kill for it, and that's Valkaz dead. There you go. That's his weakness. Lack of mobility. There's a lot of damage from afar, but if you manage to jump on him, he's good as gone. Just like Lux, for instance, or Xerath. And Nilly continued pushing up top, providing more map pressure. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix down in bot lane did get the bottom tower, and he's being chased by the wolf. Forces to ulti, try to get away, but walked into tower range, gave him vision, so Warwick was able to pick up the ulti. Meanwhile, Vayne going onto Sona, finds the Sona, gets crescendoed though, and Quinn coming in from behind, jumps onto Vayne, applies the blinds, should be able to pick up the kill. Ziggs trying to get the kill back, but unfortunately Quinn's just way too ahead. Too much sustain with just Blade of the King and Bloodthirster. Meanwhile, on top lane again, another fight happening between Nidalee and the Crocodile Renekton. Renekton having to pop the ultimate Dominus, trying to do as much damage over time with his ultimate, just magic damage. So she doesn't have much MR, she's got purely armor. So his ultimate will hurt. Unfortunately, she did kite him away till it runs out. So she's trying to fight back, but here comes Valkaz. So good idea from Nidalee, try to kite him until the ultimate's down to turn around and fight, because she does have mana, she can sustain up for him, she has armor, so she'll be able to hit him. And Valkaz missing the flash, oh god. He has mobility issues, well now he's got an ultimate, and he's being outplayed. Well done by Nidalee. She managed to dodge tectonic pressure, dodges the void rift, and will just die, and there you go, Kha'Zix versus Valkaz. Nidalee's spear in epic slow-mo still picks up the kill, but she's actually caught out of position, and Warwick, whose ultimate is up, isn't really chasing in. I think he's scared of the other team, but Renekton trying to cause a fight, trying to bait Nidalee in. Nidalee still chasing, feels like she can get the kill because Ziggs is on around, gets his satchel charge, just slow him down. And Warwick's going out in old fashion, trying to pick up the kill. Meanwhile, blue team do pick up Dragon though. Now that Warwick is down, so is Valkaz. Red team going pretty ballsy. They're going for the Baron. Good idea from Ziggs, picking up the sweeping lens to see if there's no wards, and there is no wards. And you can tell blue team haven't even responded. They don't have any vision. So red team trying to juggle the aggro, not trying to give away any deaths, but they will pick up a free Baron. At 28 minutes, this jumps back to gold, back up even. They're only one tower behind. There were two dragons behind, but the Baron bounced it in. They're equal on kills. Great play from Red Team, and look, Kha'Zix 504. He's a force to reckon with. We saw him jump on Valkaz. He's just auto attack, and Q managed to nearly two-shot Valkaz. Now that's a problem. Valkaz, who lacks mobility, and we talked about this guy. He lacks mobility. He's got nothing. If he gets caught out, he's fucked. And you're going to have Warwick and Renekton pretty much driving the backline. There you go. Kha'Zix is now pretty strong. He'll just see Valkaz like free food for me. More voids to eat. I'm the true void predator. So who's the one that actually excelled? And this is like sort of going back to when Valkaz tried to steal the blue. That's one of the instances. And I said how Kha'Zix actually won the trade more. It suited him more. Just because Valkaz has got items and he would do damage, but Kha'Zix, who's fed, will just be able to counter you and instantly two-shot you. Valkaz doesn't have much base defensive stats anyway. He's got low health pool, low magic resistance, and you just see Blitzcrank and Nidalee trying to find out a kill, running into a Valkaz who throws everything at Blitzcrank, but he's managed to live. But Nidalee is all left alone. Warwick will be able to infinite suppress, and the team just managed to instantly kill Nidalee. Unfortunately, Red Team will nowhere near to help her. They ran into a void monster who likes to blow lasers in your face. And I managed to chug Blitzcrank really low, but he managed to still live. So I'd probably recommend Valkaz getting a void staff soon. Try to get the damage output. Or even maybe a Zhonya's just to deal with Kha'Zix. So it's one of those two items you'll see him pick up very soon, hopefully. And now the siege game from the blue team. Not a massive fan of it. I'd probably recommend they do split push. You're not going to be able to out siege or out push Ziggs. It's that simple. Ziggs will just out split push. He'll just clear the minion waves before you got anything to do with it. Even if they nerfed his E, which now reduce damage on minions, still doing a lot of damage. A blue team sort of trying to pick up a kill, hiding in jungle, but red team didn't fall for it. They're just like, alright, free shove down mid. Got the better positioning. Even though red team had no wards except for one which led to the jungle entrance, which probably they saw happening right around here. So they saw that happening. And now all of blue team are sort of chasing them down from behind, playing reactory, which is pretty good. Like, for red team, that's what they want. They want to be in the driver's seat. They've got Baron. They want to be in the lead. And you can see them prepping for Dragon, which Dragon's not even up maybe a minute time, so I guess someone mistimed Dragon. Well, then again, red team don't even know what Dragon's time is. Nearly getting caught out by Warwick and Quinn. She was forced to flash pounce away. So that's a flash down Nidalee. But she's tanky. She can probably be the one who if she gets jumped on. The team will just be like, alright, sweet, no Warwick ultimate, we'll kill you. Renekton, seeing the Blitzcrank, slices and dices through the wall, runs into the Blitzcrank, snares, stuns him, but Ziggs ultimate chugging Sonar and Quinn extremely low, and another bomb nearly kills Quinn himself. Valkos left all alone, isolated, my friend. Don't even need isolation from Kha'Zix, you still die from Nidalee. Now Kha'Zix does find a Renekton, that's what I call isolation. Kha'Zix doing immense amount of damage, he's fed, he's able to take on the Renekton. But doesn't get the kill though, unfortunately messes up, but Ziggs is there to help him out, pick up the kill for him. So, we talk about isolation, that's Kha'Zix's isolation. Valkos on his own, well, Kha'Zix didn't feel like that, he felt to Renekton, he felt like Crocodile Boots today. Warwick, not aware that Blitzcrank was across the wall, does ultimate on Nidalee, hoping to get tower aggro on him, but Blitzcrank was around the corner, does pull him through, and the chase around the tower. Nidalee will pick up the kill despite Warwick using Blade of the Wrong King. Now Warwick himself is building damage, so it's squishy as hell. Quinn, knowing Nidalee it will be under tower, does jump on her with Valor, and will pick up the kill. Now she's chasing onto Blitzcrank, but here comes the Kha'Zix, here comes the Ziggs. Kha'Zix jumping in, does not manage to kill the Quinn, because guess who's around the corner? Yes, and that's the immobile Valkos. And a great crescendo from Sonar as well. Both were able to save Quinn's life. Crescendo literally sort of stunned them enough for Valkos to get his passive off and his damage over time off, and instantly shreds them apart. So he still hurts. He's gonna hurt. Unfortunately, though, he did burn flash again, so he's got no form of escape at all for the next 3 minutes. I'd say hopefully red team did time that, but hopefully they actually got a time on Baron, because Baron's coming up in 2 minutes, Dragon's coming up in 20 seconds. I think blue team will try to take this middle inhib turret first, and may even go for the inhib itself, but by that time blue team would probably be spawned. Well, if they get it, no, they won't get it. I'd probably say they should back off and go do Dragon right now, because Dragon's up in 2 seconds. Unfortunately, they'll decide to run back, so bronze tactics. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. This game is in the bronze 1 to 2 region area. They did smell red buff, so they took red buff. Dragon's up though, but I don't know what they're not doing about that. Blitzcrank trying to find a pick of Kha'Zix going around as well. He smells the Valkos. Now the poke back from red team, trying to truck down the enemy team. Valkos is extremely low. Just one Ziggs ultimate will pick him off. I don't think they're much aware of that, because Nidalee is bot lane. She's doing her split push thing. As it's Nidalee who's on the split push, despite being a team that would actually work while sieging together. But Blitzcrank, seeing the Valkos extremely low, has no escape, because he used his flash a couple minutes ago. Red team a bit late to the Dragon, so blue team managed to pick it off with 3-man. Nidalee still pushing onto the tower. We'll be able to get the tower, hopefully, with Blade of the Wrong King Iceborne Gauntlet. But while she's doing that, red team find a free Sonar, get the kill. Valkos on his own, trying to do as much damage as possible, but dies instantly. He's too squishy. Renekton trying to run away, but gets knocked up despite slicing and dicing through. And now Renekton and Warwick are running to great pull from Blitzcrank. We'll pull Renekton back in, gets a kill for Vayne. And Nidalee, on her own, probably wasn't aware that Warwick was behind her, because Warwick, infinite duress, picks up the kill. And I don't know if this Nidalee is having a fun time. That gold border, clearly something's up. Lack of game map awareness from the Nidalee. Now Baron has spawned. There's 3 members down for blue team. Renekton's still got another 20 seconds. And red team smelled Baron. Can they do it in 20 seconds? Probably. I don't think so, because Nidalee is also down for another 20 seconds. And Renekton's up in 10. Home guard bids from Vel'Koz and Sona. They're running up, but Warwick is actually backing. So unless red team can do it right now, they're wasting too much time. Blue team's starting to ping it too. They know that they're doing Baron. Could be Baron bait actually from red team, but unless they actually go straight to it, which they are, trying to get enough damage, but with amongst just Kha'Zix and Vayne themselves, we'll be able to chug it extremely low. They have to just back off. They should have kept going, honestly. And they lost a free Baron. That was a free Baron and a half. Unfortunately, the lack of vision coming from red team, which has been throughout the whole game, they've lacked vision. They didn't really give them the best knowledge of where was Warwick at the time, so they couldn't get the Baron. And Nidalee, map awareness, OP. They all of blue team walk along a ward, and Nidalee just continues to push on mid lane. Probably trying to distract while the rest of her team try to get Baron. Unfortunately, didn't work. They have an exposed inhib, and top lane is pushing, but so is bot lane for red team. So unless Nidalee can sort of distract Warwick, which she is, she's able to probably 1v1 in Warwick, despite having a lot of sustain, is versing a Iceborne Gauntlet Warden male Nidalee. So she does have a lot of armor and reduces his auto attack speed, and it's able to out-trade him actually, going back and forth, picks up the kill, securing the kill with her Q. But meanwhile, blue team managed to pick up the inhib. Now, I recommend red team trying to not let blue team back, so this will be a free bot lane inhibitor. Blitzcrank agrees also. He does flash onto Vel'Koz, getting the knock up, and that's a free kill onto Vel'Koz. Didn't really do much damage in return, because red team can just sustain it. Queen popping her ultimate, chasing down onto the Nidalee. Nidalee hopefully can outrun the bird. But the bird is a word, so I don't know if Nidalee can do it. Valor finishing it off, Quinn taking over the reins, but does manage to pick up the kill. It is Sona though getting pulled by Blitzcrank, so they get another kill in return. So now it's a 3-for-1 exchange in terms of how many kills. So it's a 2v4 right now. Quinn doesn't have ultimate. Renekton does, however, so Dominus is still up. He can use his Dominus, which might delay it. He does jump onto Vayne. Great slice and dice from Renekton, popping the ignite also onto Vayne. Will pick up the kill, but he dies in return. That's a really great trade. Picks up the ADC. So now they can't really destroy the middle in a turret. And this gave Warwick enough time to spawn, who has home guards as well. No, he doesn't. Just Swiftness Boost and Blood Scent. Wow, felt as if he did have home guard. So, Warwick managed to scare them away with his howl. No one wants to fight a Warwick. I think no one today, except for Nidalee. He's also considering going for the Guardian Angel, but picks up his blue buff. I mean, our red team running, probably backing off, might have some gold to spend. In the gold, it's been pretty even. Just 500 the difference in favor of the red team. Baron is still up. No one has yet taken it the second time, but Dragon spawning in 1 minute and 50 seconds. Buffs, blue buff still up for red team. No one probably running towards it except for Vel'Koz. He smells a free blue buff if he can get it. Unfortunately, decides otherwise. They don't have much vision of where red team is. And a lot of wards. Korea Soda. I think that was a fail flash from Quinn. Okay, must have been a mistype. So type something. Warwick walking onto it, trying to clear it. Blitzcrank using it to advantage to pull him. But here comes Vel'Koz around the corner doing a lot of damage. Gives up mobility, picks up a lot of damage. I think it's a fair trade. Managed to chug down Kha'Zix and Blitzcrank extremely low. Now he finds himself a Vayne. Can he get a kill? Forces flash. Throws out his Q. Just about to pick up kill. Vayne really low. Picks up the kill with tectonic pressure. So Vel'Koz, who needs mobility when I have damage? Meanwhile, Quinn and Renekton taking on the Baron. This should be definitely a free Baron because look what's happening in mid lane. Vel'Koz and Sona shoving onto that tower. Don't really get much, just shoving onto minions, but Vel'Koz being caught out of position. He doesn't have flash, so his mobility is lackluster. Blitzcrank just having a little fun day with him, knocking him up in there. But Vel'Koz picking up, turning around, doing an insane amount of damage. Thank you, Sona Crescendo. Kha'Zix forcing to leap in, trying to get off the kill, but he does too. Fortune gets really low from Quinn, and he's forced to leap out into safety. But this is going to be in Nexus turrets. Probably both of them. Both have been destroyed. This could actually be game right now. Where is Nidalee still doing her split push game? Where is her game awareness? Unfortunately, Kha'Zix trying to stop them down. Kha'Zix jumping onto Renekton, picks up the kill, then gets the assist actually from Nidalee. Jumps onto Quinn, picks up her death, leaps in, lands into range with his Void Spikes, and picks up the kill onto Sona. So, not bad. The inhib is about to spawn, so this will regen Nexus back up. Blue team have lost Baron for 4 of their players. Only Warwick has it. Could this be the time when Warwick manages to outduel Nidalee? It seems like it. Why is it gone? No, we need to find the fight. Nidalee cannot out-sustain Warwick right now. I think the Blade of the Ruined King Ravenous Hydra mixed with the Baron buff, he's just going to be out-sustainer. And Warwick actually running into the Kha'Zix, who's doing Dragon. Gets the Dragon buff, and Blitzcrank with the max range pull, trying to get on a kill, and Kha'Zix turning around, but does not kill him in time. The sustain from Warwick's Q. Oh my gosh, survives with just enough health to pick up the kill over Kha'Zix, forcing Nidalee to come in and pick up the kill on her. In the meantime, we actually missed this out, but Valkos was able to kill Vayne quite instantaneously. So he does a lot of damage. DPS over time, so he does hurt. The only difference is that Vayne usually should have more mobility over Valkos. Valkos just managed to kill it straight up. Maybe with Tectonic Pressure, which it does knock up for a bit, and in that duration of that knock up, plus the slow from his Q, was able to secure the kill onto Vayne. And now they're shoving in mid lane, want to take that middle inhib turret. Ziggs forcing to throw the ultimate, try to delay them, but it's not going to work now. Blue team keep shoving. Vayne's up in 3 seconds, and she does not have home guard. Kha'Zix up in 10, and neither does he. But here comes a fight from red team. Last fight for red team. They're jumping on Valkos, throwing out his life form Disintegration Ray. Not really doing much damage except on the Blitzcrank. Nearly pouncing onto him, but it's too low. Back into the fight. Vayne is spawned, just finds a free Sona, and is fighting dueling against Renekton and Valkos, but Valkos manages to pick up the kill onto her as well. And the chase continues between Ziggs and Renekton, but Quinn coming around, throwing out her, jumping onto the Ziggs, just slowing him. Kha'Zix smiling a kill, finds an isolated Quinn, but Quinn is not to be messed with. Has a lot of sustained damage, has a lot of damage coming from her, so it's gonna hurt. Doesn't win the fight, so despite being fed, I guess he can't really 1v1. Warwick, infinite duress onto Ziggs, trying to get up the kill on him, but he'll be able to 1v2 quite easily. He does have the Guardian Angel, but he's taken quite low, and he barely surviving with just a little health because of all the lifesteal. Spear from Nidalee will pop up that Guardian Angel, and she does heal Ziggs, trying to keep him healthy enough. Now he's fighting with the Nidalee, but the damage from Ziggs managed to pick up the kill, so I was wrong. I thought Warwick could 1v2, but as if he was able to pick up the kill, but Ziggs managed to kite quite effectively. The slow from Iceborne, Gauntlet, and Randuin's Omen kept him alive, so Bloodsent wasn't really worth it. In terms of gold now, it's still the lead of Red Team, despite having 2 towers down. They have an inhibitor down and an exposed Nexus. So this game is still pretty much Blue's team to lose, but I think one big team fight will determine the game quite easily. Vayne going for a Bloodthirster now, so she wants to be able to sustain this game. It's pretty much of who can out-sustain who, I think. The Valkos doing insane amount of damage, just looking a little dance. Yeah, dance for us, Valkos, dance for us. Doing a lot of damage, so Kha'Zix not really being able to pick up a kill on anyone, surprisingly, despite being quite fed. He was 5-0, now he's 9-3. So despite having 6 items as well, wasn't able to just pick up a kill, but he himself is going to sustain with the Ravenous Hydra, and Quinn and Valkos instantly killing the Vayne. Meanwhile, Nidalee 1v1ing with the Renekton. She's just out damaging him with just the Blade of the Ruined King and Iceborne Gauntlet alone, with the rest of her items tanky. So she's a straight up tank for a team, but he won't be able to kill the Renekton. And here comes Blue team coming around trying to save him. So is Red team. Kha'Zix ulting, hoping to get a kill, but it's still running around. Valkos throws out Tectonic Pressure plus He's slow to delay Blitzcrank, and now it's just a game of who can get to that Nexus, because red team are all in the jungle. Quinn could just bum rush, and there's the ping for the Nexus, because red team cannot get back in time. This is much more game. Red team fighting with the Sonar and Renekton and trying to get off the kills. Ziggs miss ultimate, not getting enough kills. Meanwhile, Quinn and Warwick, they're running for the Nexus. It is an open Nexus, and this might be game. Great play by blue team, delaying red team, distracting him. That's GG. Oh wow, the backdoor. Who needs expecting when you can just simply walk in and take the Nexus? Well, there you go. Unfortunately, my friend did lose his game. Didn't really use Kha'Zix to the fullest later on, right now, where he could snowball, but it's a pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I can do this next time with my dual partner who's much better at playcasting than I am. Enjoy and have a nice night, guys.